A taxi driver gets annoyed by his passenger's crying baby and kicks them out of his car. Later that evening, the woman shows up on his doorstep, claiming to be his sister, and leaves both him and his wife shocked. Before we continue, please take some time to subscribe to Dailydose, like, and share this video with your friends. It might brighten their day and inspire them to do good. Also keep watching because an important lesson awaits at the end of the video. Rory Townsend gripped his taxi's steering wheel tightly, trying not to lose his cool. The heat blowing across the Florida streets was exacerbating his acute headache, and the passenger seated in the back seat of his car with her baby was making matters worse. Rory had glared at them several times in his taxi's rearview mirror because he was utterly annoyed by them. The baby wouldn't stop crying, and her mother, according to Rory, was doing little to stop it, though he had told her it was distracting him from driving. When Rory couldn't bear the baby's crying any longer, he slammed on the brakes and ordered the woman to get down from his car. "I'm sorry, but you need to get down right now," he declared, his gaze fixed on the rearview mirror. "What? What's wrong?" the woman asked, confused. "Your baby is not ready to stop crying, ma'am, and it's making my headache worse." "Out. Yes, both 8 of you. Now. How can you just tell me to get off?" the woman objected. "I'm sorry about my baby, but we're on our way. I said just get down and leave." He yelled at her, and the woman was terrified. She hugged her baby close to her and exited his car. Rory drove away, unconcerned about leaving the woman on a random street. When Rory got home that evening, he slumped on the couch, unable to bear his headache. "Linda, get me some water, please," he called out to his wife, who returned with a painkiller and a glass of water. Today was a hell of a day, and then I'd met this annoying passenger. I hate this job sometimes," Rory grumbled. "I've told you so many times not to take so much stress, honey," she said, consoling him. "Freshen up. The dinner's almost ready, okay?" "Yeah, all right," he replied quietly before Linda left. Suddenly, the doorbell rang, and Rory marched to the front door to answer it, wondering who was paying them a visit. As he opened the door and saw the visitor's face, he lost his cool. It was the woman with the baby he had kicked out of his car that morning. "You," he exclaimed, agitated. "What the heck are you doing here? Did you follow me home?" The woman looked at him with tears in her eyes. My baby is sleeping, please," and she paused. "I know this might be hard to believe, but I am your sister. We finally meet, Rory," she replied, leaving Rory shocked. Whoa, ma'am, you need to leave right now, or I'm gonna call the cops on you. And how the hell do you know my name? Have you been stalking my family or something?" He didn't believe her. "Rory, who's there?" Linda approached the door, curious as to what had taken him so long. "This woman is insane, darling," Rory said, agitated. "It turns out she's my so-called sister. Can you believe that? I never had a pet, let alone a sibling. Remember I mentioned meeting an irritating passenger earlier this morning? She is the one." The woman shook her head. "No, wait. I can explain everything. Look at this." She showed them a picture, and they were shocked. It was Rory's childhood picture. "Listen," Rory said. "I'll ask you again. Who are you, and how do you know so much about me?" "I'm Amelia," the woman replied. "You would want to sit and listen to this one, Rory. Trust me, there's a lot you need to know." Rory didn't want to trust Amelia, but Linda invited her and her baby inside, primarily out of concern for the baby. As they all sat in the living room, Amelia told Rory a story that would leave him in tears. "If I'm not wrong, you were 16 when you left home," she began. "A few weeks ago, Mom passed away. Dad had passed away 7 years ago, so I was the only one Mom had by her side. I didn't even know I had an older brother. They always told me I came late into their lives and that I was their only child. I didn't know they had me long after you had left home, Rory. A few days ago, I was cleaning their house to put it on the market when I came across a box of your childhood stuff. I found a letter written by Mom about how Dad forbade her from telling you about your younger sister because he was furious you left the family after an argument with him. I've brought everything I found that day. Mom had left your details in the letter's envelope, probably because she wanted to send the letter to you. It's sad she never got the chance. I just had a childhood photo of you, so I didn't recognize you when I met you this morning. Now I am sure you are my brother." Rory's eyes welled up as Amelia showed him everything she'd retrieved from their parents' house. "Dad and Mom are no longer alive?" "That's terrible," he sighed, glancing at all the things. "I don't know what to say. I'm sorry, Amelia, but this is difficult for me to comprehend. It's so unexpected that I need some time to acclimatize. And this baby? He's my nephew." "Niece," Amelia replied with a small smile. "I was sent to a boarding school in another state at a young age, and years later, I met my husband there and we settled in. I just moved here last week. My husband is out of town, but he would love to meet you. Also, Amelia said that their parents had left her their inheritance, but she wanted to divide it equally between them. But Rory couldn't shake his guilt about not contacting his family even once and how he treated Amelia earlier that day, so he refused and told Amelia he didn't need anything. I am happy I got to meet you, Amelia. I am so happy to meet my sister and niece. I don't need anything. Trust me." Rory lovingly held Amelia's baby, who was fast asleep, and gently whispered sorry to her. With time, Amelia and Rory's family became close, and Rory's 4-year-old son loved playing with his baby sister. They missed a lot of time and precious memories that they could have created together, but it was not too late, and they knew they would make up for their lost time together.